What is sovereignty and what is being sovereign mean? You've been hearing a lot of this in the news, the mainstream news lately for its own reasons. I'm not going to get into that. This video is about relationships for women. If you're new to this channel, welcome and thank you for taking the time to watch this video. You've been hearing the word sovereign in maybe religious and spiritual circles. I've been using this word for a long time. I'm a big proponent of that word. I like to live my life independently, right? So again, this video is about relationships for women. I'm very interested in geopolitics and politics. Most definitely, I'm very interested in geopolitics. So that's how countries interact. So I like to bring that knowledge towards other interests, like this topic about relationships. So that's what I'm going to do now. So sovereignty. What does being sovereign mean? Being sovereign is the willingness to live the life you want to live, right? The willingness to live the life you want to live, right? So before you get into a relationship, it's important for you. Why is sovereignty and being sovereign important? Before you get into a relationship, it's important for you to have a foundation of knowing who you are and being who you are, right? Knowing who you are and being who you are. It's important for you to do those things. It's important for you to reclaim your sovereignty, being your sovereignty before you get into a relationship. Because what happens before you do that and you get into a relationship is you're going to sell yourself short and you're going to feel like other people are going to own you. Subconsciously, you're going to feel like other people own you, other people control you. You're going to sell yourself short for other people. Men, if you're interested in men, if you're interested in other genders, right? You're going to sell yourself short, right? And you're going to have resentment, you're going to have bitterness towards other sex, you're going to have bitterness towards the same sex, other genders. You're going to sell yourself short, and you're going to it's going to cause you to be bitter, and it's going to cause you to have resentment towards your partner, your wife. I mean, your wife, your husband, your significant other. It's going to cause you to have resentment and bitterness towards them because you sold yourself short, not knowing who you are, not having a foundation of your sovereignty, your independence, and your freedom. You're going to sell yourself short for another person, right? So before you get into relationships, it's important to establish and reclaim your sovereignty, reclaim your sovereign. Um, so what does sovereign and sovereignty mean? Okay, what it looks like. What it looks like is you, like I said, you willing to live the life you want to live. If you do not want to, if you don't live the life you're willing to live, you're going to be living for someone else. And it's going to cause you to be miserable, bitter, and resentful towards life, towards other people, towards your significant other. It's going to hurt your relationship. It's going to hurt other people. It's going to hurt other people in the relationship, whether it's with your kids, whether it's with your parents, whether it's with your significant other couples, whatever. When I'm talking about relationships, I'm talking about every relationship in your life, and I'm speaking to the women right now. So it's important for you to establish your sovereignty. Be willing to live the life you want to live. Have your own interests. That's being sovereign. Have your own interests and don't sell yourself short. Don't sell your interests short for others, for a relationship, for love, for validation. Don't sell your interests short for those things. Because you're going to abandon yourself and then other people abandon you, right? So don't sell yourself short. Have your own interests. Find out what you're interested in and focus on those interests. What are you willing? When I mean interest, what experiences do you want to experience out of life? You need to know those things. If you're not experiencing those things, you're not sovereign yet, right? What do you want to experience out of life, right? Also, be responsible and accountable for your actions and your emotions, right? Own your actions, own your emotions, your actions that you you currently are doing in your life currently. Be accountable and responsible for them. In the past, be accountable for your actions and 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 your behaviors from the past. Be accountable for your habits currently. That's part of being sovereign, right? We could talk about sovereignty continuously, but it's just a veneer, right? Freedom is just the word freedom, and independence is just a veneer. The words are just a veneer. But what does it mean? It's a being, right? It's a being, it's a behavior, it's an energy of being willing to live the life you want to live. And if you're willing to do that, you're going to have to be accountable and responsible for your behaviors and actions, right? Because what happens is you're gonna blame life, you're gonna blame other people. You're gonna project your pain. You're gonna project your hurt on other people. You're gonna hurt other people. You're gonna hurt other people in the relationship. They're gonna be hurt. You're gonna create a loop of pain, disappointment, resentment, bitterness. You're not going to experience a relationship you want to experience. So you have to take responsibility and accountability for your actions, behaviors, and habits from the past, currently, and into the future. That's part of being sovereign. That leads to freedom and independence, right? You have to another point, lastly, what sovereignty and being sovereign means is know yourself and be willing to learn more about yourself, right? When you start to learn more about yourself, your focus on other people lessens. Because when you focus on yourself, you know yourself more and you're willing to know more about yourself. And when you know yourself and you're willing to know about more about yourself, that's when you get to understand other people. That's going to help you experience the relationships you want to experience. It's going to help you draw in the relationships that you want to experience. It's going to draw in the people that you want to experience, right? It's going to draw in the love you want to experience, right? So all these things, just be willing to live the life you want to live. That's first and foremost. Be accountable and responsible for your actions, your emotions, your thoughts, your behaviors. Be accountable for all those things. Even things that occurred back in the past, you have to be accountable for them. That's part of being sovereign. That's going to lead you to freedom and independence, right? And then lastly, what was the last point? I'm trying to remember. I forgot. What was it? Know yourself and be willing to learn more about yourself. Okay, that's going to help you know where you fit in a relationship, know who fits with you, know who belongs in your life, right? Know who's going to share those experiences with you, right? and be willing to face yourself, be willing to know yourself, right? That's part of being sovereign. All these points are part of being sovereign, part of your sovereignty, right? It's going to lead you to the to freedom and independence. These words are very closely related to sovereignty, right? So freedom and independence. All these points are going to lead you to a life of freedom and a life of independence, even while you're in a relationship, right? Because when you are in your sovereignty, um, all these points, all these points are going to keep you grounded. They're going to keep you on a foundation. If life is not going well, your sovereignty is going to it's going to give you a foundation, because you're going to know who you are. You're going to have your own interests, right? You're going to be accountable and responsible for your own actions. So it's going to give you a base. It's going to give you a foundation. Even if a relationship is not going right, it's going to give you a foundation. It's going to give you a base. Okay. Thank you for watching this video.